Guys, Deluded Goon, I hope you've all enjoyed the Premier League. We've seen, obviously, if you, I know a lot of people who don't support Arsenal watch me. Thank you for that. If you're like me, you're not you exactly just want to move to next week, because obviously we lost. Spurs lost. You saw a tale of all emotions there. Like, that must really hurt, seeing your team get back in the side and then out of it. If you're Chelsea, you're excited. If you're United, you're optimistic and smug going into the new week at work and them things like that. Depending on what Liverpool too, whatever club you support, you're happy in it. So with that in mind, let's just the final bit of the weekend. Let's go back with the Q&As. Got a couple questions from you guys. You know, I can never show you my handwriting because it's poor. Firstly, Vincent Reach. Forgive me if I've said your name wrong. I think my handwriting's made me pronounce your name wrong. But yeah, you've had two questions. Firstly, what do you think PSG still need to do to win champs? Well, PSG, I'd love them to win champs. Arsenal are not in it, so I can support whoever I want in the Champions League. They've got a lot of Brazilians, so I'm going to be biased. They've got Neymar, Alves, who's best right back. You guys have seen my vids, etc., etc. I'd love them to win it, but if I'm honest, the keeper, they need probably a better keeper if they're gonna. I'm guessing if you're meaning win Champions League and ultimately dominate Europe like the Madrids and Barca's, they need a keeper, probably another centre half. They're cool at fullback. Striking options, they're fine. They've got Verratti and Rabiot. That's midfield dream. They're very close. Maybe just a couple of signings for no reason, in the sense that they could go out and sign someone of similar standard to Verratti. And I like Rabiot. Imagine Rabiot, Verratti, and someone of a similar standard in a free. Probably that's it. Maybe a centre half. Probably just centre half, and a real great centre half. And a keeper, to be honest with you, and they're somewhat set. I mean, they've got wingers, they've got depth, they've got Neymar now. If rumours are true, and they're going to sign Mbappe, and the rumours they're even going for Fabinho, so it's exciting times if you support them, bro. And your next question, Wenger's last contract. You'd like to think so. I mean, if Wenger has his way, he'd probably do this job until he physically is unable to. But you'd like to think it eventually is going to come to an end within them 2 years. Now, we don't know. He's been in worse situations. 2014, I thought he was going to walk. He didn't. So only he knows, to be honest. I'd say yes. But Arsenal have proven that they expect the unexpected. So I wouldn't know what to tell you, my man. So yeah, Tariq Amazing. Firstly, he's got two questions. Thoughts on Steve Bruce under pressure? Well, firstly, Steve Bruce is under a lot of pressure because he said they're on purse strings in regards to lack of transfer funds. But Villa, they were in the Premier League. Do you remember Martin O'Neill and all of them guys? They're a former Premier League side. They've spent a lot of money in the last couple of transfer windows. I think so. And things like that. So there's been a lot of pressure. They didn't start the season well. I believe they could have beat Reading, but they weren't at it. And Hull, they've won at the weekend. I don't know who they've played, but they've won. I saw that on BBC. So they've won. That relieves some of the pressure. And I think he's even brought up some comments and said it's unbelievable that a week ago he was in a crisis. So I would like him, if you're asking for my opinion on it, I would like him to see it through. I mean, I've never had a problem with Steve Bruce. He's always had a good relationship with Arsenal and Wenger, wherever club he's at. You've seen him get players from when he's at Wigan, even when we didn't sign Palacios, and he was recommended by Wenger to Bruce. He did it. Took a couple boys, Hayden, who's now playing for Newcastle in the Prem on loan, and Akpom. So he's got a good relation. Added to that, he's playing some young players and he's given debuts. So anyone who does that, I'd like to see them do well. He's one of the nice guys in football, and I ain't got a problem with him, so I'd like to see him do better. Next question. Clubs currently sleeping giants. There's a lot of clubs. I'd say Manchester United, firstly. Well, they're not really a sleeping giant, because despite not having the sporting success they've previously had, they're still commercially up there. The fan base is ever growing and things like that. Well, I'd say they're a sleeping giant purely because Man United, arguably the biggest side in the world, and in the Premier League, they want to be back to being the Madrids, the Barca, well, not Barca now, but the Barcas, the Munichs. So you could kind of say them, and they're looking like they're going to get back to it, but that's not really them. I'd say Inter Milan, prestigious club, falling by the wayside. AC Milan, they're doing the same, but they're going about it in the right way. I'd say Liverpool's a sleeping giant. If the right people invest in that club and give Klopp some real backing, he could do something in return some nights. Spurs, I'm actually scared if someone, like, I don't know, let's just say Usmanov turned around and said, I want Spurs, I'd be scared, to be honest with you. I know Poch is in a checkbook manager, but you imagine Spurs where they have more funds and they can give players proper contracts, they'd be scary, man. I'd say us, for obvious reasons, highest ticket prices, play good football on paper, big stadium, one of the biggest budgets and commercial things, one of the richest clubs in the world. I think we're like 7th or something, maybe even higher. You transfer experts and experts on finances can get into the comments. So there's all of them things, and we're constantly getting better commercially and partnerships and stuff, and we're just sinking on the sporting front, hitting new lows. So we're a sleeping giant. The right people invest, the right people manage, the right people collectively and want to win on the sporting front. You'd see this club rise to the level I'd like it to be, but it's not. So I can't ever. This is why when you lot say I'm pessimistic, I get upset. When there's every reason, I've said it. When there's every reason to be optimistic, I'll be optimistic. But I can't be like I just can't be screaming things for no reason. Do you get? Hope that answers your question. To be honest. Mike Turby, forgive me if I've said your name wrong. Liverpool and Arsenal, who would win the champs earlier? Well, you could say Liverpool because they've done it in 05, if that answers your question. You could say, if you're talking about after that, you could say we've got to the final, and I know we haven't done anything other than that, but they haven't got to they did get to, they went to 2007, so yeah, you'd probably say them, to be honest. On that logic, I was going to say, you'd probably say Liverpool. I think our squad is a bit better than them. We do tend to buy better players than Liverpool and spend our money more wisely. Both are a long way off winning the Champions League, winning the league, or doing anything. Both are very rubbish. So it's whoever, to be honest. Maybe Liverpool in the sense that they actually take these things seriously and we don't. But I think it's even. I mean, the best way to answer that is I don't think either's going to win that anytime soon. Well, in fact, you'd have to say Liverpool because they're in it and we're not. So I hope that answers your question. In short, neither. Liverpool because they're in it. If that answers it. Yeah. Twitter guy, no offense, at Skirt52, forgive me if I've said your name wrong. Players currently too good for their current clubs. Now, if you're speaking in general again, Alexis Sanchez, he can walk into almost any side. I'm going to say a weird one. Mesut Ozil. Trust me, Mesut Ozil, he would, like, if things were different and he was under a side where they built the side around him and certain things and he wasn't just constantly scapegoated, him. Toby, because he walks into, I know disrespect to Spurs, he's doing a good thing, but he can walk into a lot of top sides. So I'd say him, and also Harry Kane. I'd say Alexis Sanchez, of course. I've just said that. Who else is there? De Gea, in the sense that you look at Madrid. Madrid's keeper's not better than him. Navas. De Gea should be the one winning Champions League 2 Champions Leagues in a row, trying to retain the third and things like that. So I'd say him. I've got a couple written down actually. Verratti, in the sense that PSG, I mean, yes, they're going about it the right way and they're spending money, but Verratti should be at a real prestigious club and should have been really the heir to Xavi and things like that. Fekir of Lyon, he's had some injuries and he needs to match his output of a couple seasons ago and then performances, but he's another one I think is too good for Lyon and should move on to a slightly higher club. Dembele, put an asterisk over him because we know he's in talks to sign for Barcelona, allegedly. I think, well, he's not necessarily too big for the club or too good for the club. He can definitely play for a bigger club, and by that you could say Kylian and Pepe as well. So I hope that answers your question. Brings me to the final one. Expat Guna on Twitter, my guy. He's always in the comments. I like that guy, man. He's asking for my definition of a catalyst for change, and how would I implement, or my catalyst for change if we speak about what happened with us, if it was to Arsenal. Firstly, whoever wants to be here, whoever wants to go, whether it's Alexis or Ospino or any academy player, go. I want players that want to be here, and it will take us, of course, if we lose world-class players, it will take us harder, but fundamentally, we need players that are going to be here, die for the shirt, retain. You saw against Stoke when we weren't working for the ball, pulling out of challenges, not hurrying to win the ball back and things like that. That is what we've got to install a winning culture. Regardless of if you're young or a world-class player, again, you play based on merit. If you've played well in the game beforehand, you'll keep your spot. Typically, that's not seen at Arsenal. I'll play the players in their actual positions. For one, drop players when they're playing poorly. For another one, hold everybody to high standards. Make sure it's not get rid of this whole play crash. Everybody can fly out when we're losing, and everybody gets a game mentality. There's so much. I should make that into a separate video, to be honest. That's a very good question. There's so much, but in short, only keep the players that want to be here. Fix up the back line and put real emphasis on defending as much as is on scoring. Cut the dead wood. Add some additions in the holes we need, and more importantly, a mentality change. Mentally, show these guys that you have the ability to be winners, but you need to want to be winners. Being a winner is in everything you do. Everything you do in life throughout that whole season leads to you dominating, and obviously if you win the league, you were the better side over 38 games. that is what's going to happen. Like I said, man, that was a good question, and I could go in and speak about that for all day and in more depth as well. If you guys want me to make that into a video, comment and like. If not enough people comment and like, I ain't going to do it. So yeah, get into that. But yeah, that's the QA done. Get in the comments, subscribe. Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out, man. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day, Arsenal fans. We go again.